An area of thunderstorms in the eastern Pacific is getting ready to become a tropical storm, and once it does, it could strengthen into the first hurricane of the 2025 East Pacific hurricane season. Will this storm impact Mexico or the western US? And is there something else lurking in the Atlantic? In this video, we're going to look at all of that, but first, if you're new here,
please hit that subscribe button
for more weather updates. So the NHC actually has this as an invest 90 south of the southern coast of Mexico with an 80% chance. It's already up to an 80% chance of becoming a tropical system in the next 48 hours and a 90% chance within 7 days, and is expected to become a tropical depression by the middle of the week. And on satellite imagery, you can see that this disturbance is definitely getting more organized, starting to look more tropical stormish. Once it becomes a tropical system, it will intensify pretty quickly. Since this is an NVEST, they have put some hurricane models on it already. It's expected to strengthen into a tropical storm, or at least reach tropical storm intensity within the next 24 to 36 hours, and then become a hurricane potentially within 48 hours. So it will intensify pretty quickly, but then once it goes into some cooler water, it will definitely drop off. The GEFS kind of ensemble tracks do show that the track is pretty straightforward. It's supposed to move pretty much west-northwest along the coast of Mexico, but offshore. So it's not really going to impact land until once it gets out here, it's actually in cooler waters, so it will weaken down. But yeah, it's gonna intensify pretty quick at first because the eastern Pacific is really warm, with water temperatures over 85 degrees, probably in the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees off the coast of Mexico. But then notice that, yeah, once you get out here, it just drops off really quickly, and then you're less than 80 degrees. Water temperatures in the 60s and 70s will weaken a hurricane pretty quickly, and so that's why it has a short window to intensify. Here's a look at the GFS model showing by Wednesday it's pretty much a strong tropical storm getting close to hurricane intensity. Once we get into Thursday, early on Thursday, May 29th, it's looks like a pretty intense hurricane. Briefly, it could become a category 1, maybe even a category 2 according to the GFS model. So a decent hurricane around Thursday night, but then as it goes further north, then it drops off pretty quickly, and it's back down to a tropical storm potentially by Friday, May 30th. And then it pretty much disappears. The Euro model, it doesn't strengthen it nearly as much, which is kind of expected for the Euro model, but pretty much the Euro model has it weaker and also potentially moving a bit slower. So by May 30th, Thursday night into Friday, you have potentially a weak hurricane or a strong tropical storm according to the Euro model. But we're going with more of what the GFS is showing, and the track is pretty much straightforward. You have like an upper level high pressure system that's pretty much just going to push it kind of west and then turning to northwest over time. But then this won't really hit land directly as a very strong system. It pretty much goes away pretty quickly before it reaches like Baja California or the southwestern US. But notice this, you have all the moisture from it. It looks like some of that moisture will actually lift off into northwestern Mexico and the southwestern US, especially Arizona, by June 2nd. And actually, that moisture will feed into kind of a explosive sort of weather system over the western U.S. You actually have, by June 2nd, you combine a trough over the Pacific Northwest, you have a cutoff low over the Southwest, plus tropical moisture kind of all put together. That's going to lead to a pretty explosive storm system over the western U.S. with potentially 1 to 2 inches of rain at least over portions of the Southwest, especially Arizona. And so that's going to lead to a lot of interesting weather, and this will be happening right after a very extreme heat wave potentially over California. So there's a lot of interesting weather events coming together at the same time with that. But also the Atlantic hurricane season starts on June 1st. The Atlantic should be heating up over the next couple weeks, and in terms of the sea surface temperatures, it is like definitely temperatures reaching the mid 80s across the Western Caribbean and parts of the Gulf already. And then the MJO is going to be at least neutral to slightly favorable across the Eastern Pacific, that Central America region, and the Western Atlantic, the Caribbean, all the way from now all the way to July. So this is really, looks like this is getting more interesting, that it's showing favorable all the way from now till July. So that's pretty interesting. We'll have to see what happens there, but the GEFS is showing that after we get to that June 6th time frame, June 7th, after that, it looks like there is going to be definitely some more potential for some tropical system to try to form in the Gulf or the Western Caribbean after June 7th, potentially even around June 10th or so. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that as the tropics start to heat up. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. Share the video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications for more updates on the tropics. Extreme Weather Zone, out.